Hello, welcome back. It's Jails. Hello, are you doing well? I'm a bit sick and tired today, so no incredible action, no shooty, no bing bonking people, and surprisingly enough, my energy is pretty good today. So I guess we can read Umineko's again. I thought I would have to like continue this after the rainy season. That'll be really long. Anyway, let's continue.
これでどうか。
I don't remember.
まずまずであろう。
After she had completed the thing she had been so intensely concentrating on, Beato looked over the document again from a distance. Is this the I think they're writing something like a accord or contract or something, I don't know. You will count this as a fairy tale story before sleeping. Thank you. I'll read you to sleep. It seemed she was fairly satisfied with her work, and Maria, upon us also peeking in at it, let out a cry of wonder. Oh, for God's sake.
黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェの名においてマリアの子サク太郎をここに認める。
Oh, they were designing the imaginary friend. Okay.
お師匠様、立ち会い人にサインを頼むぜ。
Why do you need a witness to solidify the draft?
はいはい。我が名においてこの先生に立ち会い認めるものなり。
Okay, Komasawa-san.
できましたよ。
Valkyria signed, completing the proclamation. It was a powerful document that proclaimed to the beings of a higher world that Sakutaro had most certainly manifested in the human world. Sakutaro, created by Maria, had received the recommendation of the two witches Beatrice and Valkyria. And in this very moment, the higher world had accepted his existence. Murder mystery, by the way. That was the great magic of manifestation. According to Beato, it was apparently an incredible stroke of luck that Valkyria had been here, because the power residing in the proclamation would change drastically depending on the number and the length of the witches signing it. Valkyria in particular had many friends in the higher world. She's old, so her signature gave the proclamation a power with which Beatos couldn't even compare.
この宣言書により汝作太郎を自我ある一個人と認める。
Hooray!
そしてその存在をマリアージュ・ソルシエールの条約に従い友人として迎える。今より作太郎は我ら共通の友人だ。
Okay, just casually have the same imaginary friend? How does that work?
それにふさわしき姿を贈り物としてそなたに贈ろう。受け取るがよい。
With the grimoire still open to the page with the proclamation, she turned it around and handed it to Maria. Maria showed it to Sakutaro on her lap. When Sakutaro beheld the proclamation in his body made of cloth and cotton, he felt something hot and bright begin to dwell. He got a blow. Look out, he's gonna blow! Even as he looked around, nervous at this sensation that he had never felt before, that power threatened. Henshin? Transform! Into a sailor moon, and eventually a bright light completely swallowed him up. Yes!
Uryuu? Uryuu.
Granata! Yeah. Oh my god! Oh wow, I'm spinning! Wow, he's a shota. Okay. Of course he is. And when that light disappeared, there, Maria's friend, Sakutaro, held a new form and existed. How do I... Beloved furniture, Lily of Lady Maria in capital letter. Very well, very unfortunate, but probably which of Maria Socia, his existence is Lady Maria's pure white heart itself. Oh, if we kill him, well, would Maria's heart be tainted? He's an irreplaceable being to her and could even be said to be another Lady Maria because he doesn't exist. He holds a decoration as a diplomat. What do you mean? I did nothing. I'm just saying as it is. I think no one's gonna die. Yet. Well, we are enjoying this story. This story is very wholesome. Ignore the murder mystery part. Yep, I'm still wholesome in the entire world. Yep. He holds a decoration as a diplomat, and all witches, weapons, and furniture in the Alliance, and even demons and divine spirits in contract with the Alliance, are not permitted to take aim at him. Okay, how big is this Alliance? Ooh! Woo! Ooh!
かわいいよサクタロ。すっごいかわいいよ。ウリュウ？ウリュウ。
How many you is in this game?
本当に似合ってる？
I mean, he's cute.
恥ずかしくない？
とても可愛らしい姿ですよ、サク太郎ちゃん。マフラーがチャームポイントだと思ってな。あとは耳だ。獣耳はいいぞ。実に可愛い。あとはわらわにもかじらせよ。
What? What is the matter with you, Beatrice?
ありがとう、ベアトリーチェ。素敵なプレゼントを本当にありがとう。
礼には及ばぬ。そなたの素晴らしき魔法と友人に敬意を表したまでよ。そ
Okay.
してこの域にまで達したそなたはもはや見習いをいつ卒業してもおかしくない。
Wait, is he gonna die? I mean, we don't see him in the family conference, so I assume that something makes it impossible for her to bring Sakutaro with her.
今日よりさらに新しく楽しい魔法を伝授してやろう。これより原初の魔女見習いのマリアと名乗るがよい。
原初の魔女って？
うん。造物種の道を求める魔女の称号よ。今は身の回りの小物に魔力を吹き込む力しか持たぬエンチャンターでしかない。
You're just making things up as you go along, huh? Okay.
しかし、千年の修行を経たならば、その胸の内より魔法体系はおろか、銀河を生み出すことも夢ではあるまい。
Remember, Aki, I can call myself Aki. Yes, I am a wizard. Of course.
原初の魔女の才能はとても希少。幼き日には誰もが持つのに誰も持ち続けることができない。この称号はあなたが汚れなき心を失わなかったことの証でもありますね。
Everyone has it when they are young. AKA imaginary friends. คือ
原初の魔女すごい。なる。マリア、原初の魔女見習い。マリア、すごいね。すごい。原初の魔女、すごいすごい。ウリュウ。
I guess so.
やがては
What am I
一
watching?
人前の原初の魔女マリア教を名乗ることになろう。作太郎だけでなく、そろそろそなたもその格にふさわしい身なりをしても良い頃であろうな。
I feel I feel like I'm watching a bunch of Shunibyo just playing with each other.
それ
No, that's not what it stands for. It's not an abbreviation. It's just a name. Nothing deep. Yep, for sure.
見習いとはいえ魔女の名を語るにふさわしき服装を与えよう
When Beato waved the pipe, there was her one. Many gold butterflies appeared out of nowhere, grouped around Maria, and granted her a wonderful dress. My eyes! Okay. Is this Liu or... Endowed with both cuteness and majesty, it was indeed a fitting article of clothing for the girl who would eventually take the name of the Witch of Origins.
すごいすごいすごいすごいすごいかわいいかわいい
I assume that someone make that outfit ahead of time.
このお洋服ママにも見せたい
What do you mean, AKI 1000?
魔女の清掃はみだりに見せてはならぬぞもったいぶった方が価値が出るというもの
And then the great witch, the witch and the witch's apprentice. That's a lot of witch in one sentence. And the new friend Sakutaro had a lively time enjoying the tea together.
ね私はこんなにも幸せだよ
Sure.
そしてこんなにも楽しい幸せになることをどうか恐れないで幸せになるというのは今の不幸を受け入れるという意味じゃないの今の不幸の中に幸せを新しく生み出すということなの
Okay, but she's happy because she has a new friend. That's not fair.
それが原初の魔法
私は今の自分の世界を認めたくなかったこんなにも孤独で辛い世界を肯定するのが許せなかった
Well, you have the money. Just move to, I don't know, Vietnam or something.
だからマリアお姉ちゃんの世界に惹かれながらも最後の一戦で受け入れられなかった
Okay, I'll drink some water.
教えてあげるマリアの原初の魔法をいいえ教えたことがあったはずそしてあなたにも使えたはずなんだよ忘れちゃったエンジェだってマリアージュ・ソルシエールに名を連ねる魔女の見習いだったでしょ
ええそうだったわね
Did she? When? Like when she was 5?
マリアージュ・ソルシエール懐かしいわね
Oh, so she did. Okay.
私もそこに名を連ねていることがあったっけ
Wait, but you have never met Beatrice before? Okay. That's weird. Let you join the same group, but we will never meet with one of the members. I find it really weird. Umineko when they cry. My eyes! The world 12 years later, October 1998. Beep beep. Wow, that looks very fancy.
1987年4月のことです。
I think the murder happened in 1986? Right? I don't remember.
私は友人からある奇妙な依頼を受けました。とある大富豪の遺品である蔵書が大量に競売にかけられていて、その一部に民族学的にも考古学的にも、あるいは オカルト的な意味でも極めて価値の高いものが含まれていると思われる。
Oh, we talking about Kinsa? But I thought the mansion is gone. Like, gone, disappeared.
そ
How
の
do they-
価値を内密に見てほしいというのです。
87年
You don't know anything. It's up to me to follow plot. Okay, I'll do my best.
六軒島での事件の半年後
Oh, so it was 1986, I think.
さようです。
Whoa, who are you?
それらの蔵書は六軒島での難を逃れたものと説明されていました。
But I thought it disappeared. Like the mansion, like the books managed to run away from whatever happened. The bite of 87?
それを島の所有者である後宮エバ氏が競売に出したというのです。
They appear to be at a high-class restaurant. Although if you were a daughter of the recently deceased father, would you sell their collection? I find it a bit strange. Like, I wouldn't, right? I mean, I would keep them, even if I don't read them. I mean, it would remind me of my family or something. You're not a daughter. Well, I mean, no. Ushiramiya Eva was a daughter, so
さよう
so
です。
it's a oops, sorry. But I mean, if you are the offspring, right? NJ and a middle-aged man were sitting across from one another in a pair of secluded and quiet seats. Amakusa could be seen by the restaurant's entrance. He was probably keeping a lookout for pursuers from the Sumadera family. The scholarly seeming man, never see that word before, across from NJ spoke politely but with enthusiasm. He hadn't so much as touched the food in front of him, which communicated effectively the passion with which he was speaking. He was a professor at a certain university known in particular as an authority on Western folklore. However, among his life works, there was only the one with the most acceptable public face. One? His true life work was the study of Western occultism, Western magic, alchemy, and all else falling under the umbrella of the occult, as well as demonology. How does one get jobs from this specialization? Characters, how do I go there? Suki. Okay, a professor at a certain college, well known as an authority on the study of Western folklore, also famous as a hobbyist researcher of the Rokijima witch legend and as one of the witch hunters. Umbrella, will there be zombies? Damn, if only. The witch hunt, I mean, that's magic, so anything is possible, right? The witch hunt is primarily, well, actually, that's kinda zombies in episode 2, me think. To display the truth of the Rokijima crime rather than doing so scientifically. And its dilettantes and enthusiasts of the mystical primarily view it as a type of mental game. Okay.
まず蔵書を鑑定して分かったことは、後宮エバ氏には民族学的な教養は全くなく、
Okay.
そしてその蔵書の本来の持ち主である後宮金蔵氏は、日本で5子に入る悪魔学の権威であったことは間違いないということです。
Why is he looking like an owl? Oh, don't say that. His face is nice. A major city. I forgot to read that. April 1987. A major city antique shop came into possession of a large quantity of ancient texts thought to have a high historical value. The texts had been entrusted to them by Ushiramiya Eva, who had requested for them to be put up for auction on her behalf. At the time, everyone thought that Eva had succeeded the Ushiramiya family and obtained all the wealth for herself as the only survivor. However, at that point, barely half a year had passed since the accident, which was not enough for the rest of the family to be legally declared dead in absentia, even given the extraordinary circumstances. Oh yeah, they didn't find the the bodies for some reason. Because of that, Eva was thought to have been in a very tight spot financially, unable even to collect from her family's life insurance. Is it really that bad? I thought she has some money. It seems that she tried to sell everything of value, and even the books kept in Kuwadorian, her location when she escaped harm, became a target of this. And when the authorities in the field gathered at the request of the antique shop to appraise these documents, which were later called the Ushiromiya Library, they were given the shock of their lives, or they shook.
少なくとも神秘学の見地から言えば、その発見が世界に与えた衝撃は司会文書発見にも匹敵するものでした。
I have no idea what these scrolls are, so I have no idea.
後ろ宮蔵書にはなんと1000年以上にもわたる間、その存在だけが知られているにもかかわらず、
Yeah, but is there Uryuu magic in this world? Light bulb out.
発見されていなかった
Don't be mean
数
to
々
him.
の極めて重要な文献さえ含まれていたからです。
The so-called romantic side of the occult, epitomized, for example, by alchemy, never ceases to stir an intense fascination in dilettantes. Even now, it is whispered that in various places around the world, a great number of magic books of historical value might be in a secret possession of very wealthy lovers of the occult, unannounced to the public. Okay, why are we saying this? Do we need to know this? The prime candidates for this are said to be items such as Leonardo da Vinci's. Well, we are back in Assassin's Creed 2 now. Notebooks, which are particularly popular among dilettantes. It is said that approximately 5,000 pages of the notebooks currently exist, and over 10,000 have been lost. How is it lost? Skip everything. Well, what if it's important? What if it's important? We would never know. But some researchers believe that a large part of this lost portion may be being monopolized by certain dilettantes and millionaires. It is said that because of this, even now, dilettantes who can't help but seek despair no expense to search around for quietly hoarded away and unannounced notebooks. Just hire some shinobis or something. There is probably no doubting that Ushinomiya Kinso was himself one of those dilettantes. It is unknown what Kinso went through to obtain these, but undoubtedly, I don't know if he killed people, so we will never know. But undoubtedly, he must have spent his vast wealth like water to buy them off other rich people with the same hobby as him. The discovery of that huge number of books at the end of the 20th century, books so valuable that dilettantes were filled with a desire to hoard them away. Everyone is a killer. Everyone must be a traitor, just like in Tears of Symphonia. Okay, so these people are the collectors. Like they're collecting the Exodia Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Okay. And the subsequently released to the public gave the entire world a massive shock.
この一件により、六軒島の名は全世界に知れ渡ることになります。そして同時に、六軒島の事故によって、未発見のさらに価値ある蔵書が大量に失われた可能性が高いことも、全世界に衝撃を与えました。
Well, good for you.
これにより、六軒島と後宮蔵書の名は、我々にとって生涯忘れないものとなったのです。
Our memories that hour probably meant the occult neck of the woods with the same hobby as Kinso. This incident caused the name of Lokkenjima to develop an important meaning within the world of the occult. Certainly, there had been a lot of reporting about the accident on Lokkenjima, but it hadn't been on an international level. However, this incident circled the globe, taking the image of Lokkenjima as a small island in the Uryuu archipelago and painting it over as a demonic island with a mixture of leaders, suspicion, mystery, and the occult. In other words, until Kinso's library was leaked to the public by Eva, Lokkenjima had been nothing more than a nameless island that no one thought twice about. Even though Ushinomiya family is one of the richest family? Okay, and it definitely hadn't been a witch's island. However, when knowledge of the Ushinomiya library spread across the world, Rokkenjima's image immediately took on an occult twist.
そしてそこへ起こるのが例のメッセージボトル事件です。
Oh, here it
これ
comes.
があの島を魔女の島に変えた。伊豆諸島の無名の小島がオカルトの島へ、そして謎の魔女ベアトリーチェの島へと変遷していったのです。
Okay, but anyone can write anything and shove it into a bottle, right?
後宮蔵書とメッセージボトル、このどちらが欠けても六軒島魔女伝説は成り立たなかったと言えます。
メッセージボトル。
I mean, I'll do one right now.
はい、空の瓶に手紙を封印し海に投じるという不特定対象への通信方法です。無人島から SOS を発信するというのが有名ですが、海外の有名推理小説の影響で自らの死後に真実を告白するという時間差的な遺書としても知られるようになりました。
Is that a real life of this?
六軒島メッセージボトル事件はまさにこの後者だったのです。
近くの島の漁師が拾っていたというやつですね。
Thanks for describing what a bottle in the water is. Well, I mean, you know, leave no stone unturned, leave no verse unexplained.
さようです。式根島の若い漁師が手紙入りのワインボトルを拾っていたことが分かったのです。
It was a fisherman. He's the one who wrote the message. He faked the message, for sure.
この若い漁師は興味本位からそれをたまたま保管していました。それが後宮蔵書で六軒島が世界的注目を浴びたため公表したというのです。
What? It's just a paper in a bottle.
その漁師による捏造の可能性は？
Do you know I can move by pressing WSD? Probably not.
もちろんその可能性も否定できませんでした。ワインボトル内のノート片には後宮家のとある人物の署名がされていました。
Number pages in the one bottle had the signature of a certain member, but a signature can be forged unless it was compared with the outside world.
後宮マリアという少女です。
Okay, and you're telling me that Maria has signed a document outside?
しかし彼女の遺品の肉筆から別人の筆跡であることが確認されました。
Oh. Okay. Probably the person who masquerade as Beatrice.
別人の筆跡？
You're not kidding. You thought a kid. You.
もうち
Oops, sorry, wrong button. You thought. You thought this kid writes the message bottle detailing the entire crime, put them in the bottle and yoink them to the sea. You think this kid can do that?
さようです。少なくとも少女より達筆で年齢のある人物によって書かれたことは疑いようがないでしょう。
No kidding.
彼女の名を語った何者かが執筆した可能性が極めて高かったのです。
Was it Shannon
よって
or Canon? I
こ
don't
の
know.
時点ではノート編の内容の信憑性は薄いと考えられました。
It's anime game. Everything is possible. Of course it is. However, later on, a sensation was created when it came to light that on the day of the accident, a similar message bottle had been recovered from the surrounding ocean by the police in their search for evidence.
警察は現場の状況とボトルの封印状況から捏造の可能性は低く、事故直前の数日以内に投棄したものと判断したようです。また双方の筆跡は一致しました。これにより漁師の発見したノート片の信憑性が増すこととなりました。
Well, when did the fisherman claim to have the message bottle?
メッセージボトルの内容については 週刊誌などが繰り返し報道しているようですが、説明がいりますかな？
No, thank you.
いいえ、一応知っていますので。
Oh, you mean no? We don't want to pay the voice actor. Cool. Several sheets of notebook paper had been stuffed into each of the two wine bottles. There were extensive accounts written in a diary-like fashion by some unknown person calling themselves Ushinomiya Maria of the events of the day of the accident and the day before. And it was these that prompted the beginning of the rich legend serial murder case. That's a mouthful. And the mysterious of the Golden Beach, Beatrice.
この奇妙な日記風式には、台風で島に釘付けにされた後宮家の親族たちが魔女復活の儀式に巻き込まれ、次々に不可解な方法で殺されていく様子が記されていました。そして最後に黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェがよみがえり、全てを黄金鏡に飲み込む。まるでそれこそが当日の全容であるかのように記されていました。
Okay.
また当時の島の状況についても非常に詳しく描写されており、後宮家に勤務したことがある元の使用人たちは間違いなく内部に詳しい人間が書いたに違いないと証言しました。
Okay, fair enough.
そのおかしな幻想小説と後宮蔵書以降のオカルトブーム。
How many messages are there? Is it like the... Is it depicting like episode 1, 2, 3? I don't know. So that's strange. Wait, she said that.
そして結局は真相は闇の中という3つが合わさり、六軒島の魔女伝説を生み出したと。
さようです。すでに10年以上が経過した事件ですが、未だに世界のオカルトマニアの関心を集めています。いや、むしろ時間を得てますますに深刻化されたと言っていい。上陸禁止になっている六軒島に密かに上陸しようというマニアも未だに多いとか。
Oh, why is it prohibited?
未だ未発見のメッセージボトルがあるのではないか。
Maybe that's alien. So now it's like a Area 51.
そしてあの日、あの島で本当は何があったのか、未だに議論はつきませんとも。
As though he had finally remembered that he had been going on and on for some time, the man took a sip of water. Uh-oh. His pottage was now cold, but it seemed that the man's hunger had already been blown away.
確か漁師のノート編と警
Yeah,
察
of
のノー
course.
ト編で
Yep,
内容が全く違うと聞きましたが。
I was waiting for you. Cosplay. Okay, I drink some water. Sorry, I mean, sip some water. So, some pages have different contents. Okay, getting closer and
さよ
closer.
うです。このせいでロッキン島ミステリーはさらに面白みが増したのです。
Do you think the message, if the message was detailing what happened in episode 1, 2, 3, do you think that it's like a plan? Like plan A, we do that. Plan B, we do the same thing as occurred in episode 2. Or
2つの
something.
ボトルの中身はどちらも事故前日から当日までを記した日記風の式です。しかしその内容は共に前日から当日を記した内容であり、
It
にも
must,
かかわらず内容は全く異なったのです。
it must be the episode 1, 2, 3.
まるでどちらかが真実でどちらかが虚偽のように。
He says he only found 2, so what happened to the third one?
あるいは両方とも虚偽なのかもしれない。
Yeah, maybe there's a third one. Maybe there's a 500th one.
しかし始まりと終わりだけは一致するのです。始まりは親族たち18人は台風で島に閉じ込められた。そして終わりは全員が死に黄金の魔女がよみがえり。
The contents of both message bottles describe the events of the 2 days of the accident, but the details were completely different. Both diaries outline a serial murder following the epitaph of the witch, but the order of the sacrifices, the manners of the deeds, and even the tale of the 2 days are different. Oh yeah, what if it's just a fanfic? Right? That's what I'm saying. However, both depict the same ultimate conclusion. Everyone dies and the witch revives. But why would they write a fanfic and throw them into the seas?
あの島で何があったのか。唯一の生存者である後宮エバ氏が沈黙していた以上、あの2日間の出来事は全てが闇の中です。この2つの日記はその闇を埋める仮説をこともあろうか2つも提示してみせたのです。
Marketing? Lokkenjima merchandise? Available in stores near you.
どちらの日記でも2日間を説明できる。しかし、どちらが正しいのか、あるいは正しいことが含まれているのかさえわからないのです。
Okay, so another mystery is why does the survivor, the lone survivor of the incident, didn't confess or say anything about what happened to the incident? I think the answers are pretty simple. Either she's the one who's the murderer, or Angie's parents is the murderer. Like I kind of think that there's only 2 possibilities why she doesn't say anything. Schrodinger's cat box. If it isn't denied, even fiction can be truth, and I can fly. Through the media, these notebook pages had of course been shown at Eva as well, but in the end, she never broke her silence. Let's arrest both. They all died. They grew old. I mean, the lone survivor from the incident grew old and don't know what disease she has, but she died in the hospital. Nika, hello. I hope sorry. I hope you're doing well. Hear me. So everyone died. Everyone here is dead. She, Angel, is the daughter of these 2 persons, Rodolfo and Kide. Okay, revive and arrest. Very, very practical. But I can't do that. No one can do that. Or can they?
誰が何のためにメッセージボトルを？
Thank you for the head pass.
事件10周年特集を組んだ雑誌が以前大々的に取り上げたでしょう。あの仮説が今日では最も支持を集めているようです。しかし面白みには欠ける。
But this is the magic word, right? I think that's one of the mystery that the game intentionally make ambiguous.
あの島であの日何が起こったのか。
But if you ask me, I haven't seen actual magic in the game. I see recounting of an event that was said that that's magic, but never have I seen, never have the main characters POV have seen the magic themselves. What's this game about? It's a murder mystery. There are 8 episodes. We are on episode 4. I wrote some summaries of the previous episodes on Discord, so you're welcome to take a look if you want to get back on track. But I haven't finished the summary actually, but I wrote a lot, so hopefully that helps.
それを考えるのがウィッチハントの醍醐味なのですな。
Basically, it's Ace Attorney. Yeah, except there's no court and a lot of death and magic, apparently.
ウィッチハント。
ああ、ロッキン島ウィッチハントとはこの事件の真相をオカルトの側面から説明しようと試みるマニアの集いのことです。
Mania, he
後ろ
says.
宮蔵書から謎の2日間、そして黄金の魔女の伝説などロッケン島に関わる謎は今でもマニアの間で盛んに議論されているのです。
We have much fun speculating how your family died. How fun.
10周年の時にはニューヨークで国際コンベンションも開かれました。私も日本の代表として参加してきましてね。
Wow, okay, how big is this?
海外の熱心なウィッチハンターと様々な交流をしてきましたよ。海外では魔女はとても人気のあるカテゴリーでしてね。
Yeah, but the witch. I mean, what?
参加者の年齢幅も下は小学生から上は著名な文化人まで実に幅広い。
You have too much time on your hands, aren't you? You witch hunter.
日本でも近年ようやく
You probably don't need any more explanation, but he is one of the most famous Rokkenjima witch hunters in Japan. After that, he just kept continuing on excitedly all by himself, even though I never asked. That felt like a complaint. As I swirled the thin film on my pottage, I don't know what pottage is. With my spoon, I shrugged my shoulders and sighed. Me too. Me too. Maybe it really had been a waste of time to research about the message butter. No, if there was one thing I gotten out of this, it was the knowledge that those pages, supposedly written by Madeone-chan. Okay, I'll drink some water. Had actually been written by a different person faking her name. And that person had taken it upon themselves to write an occult story, put it in a bottle as though it was the truth, and throw it into the sea. This raised questions for me. Ooh, the windblow of creepiness. Why did they go to all the trouble of writing so much in order to prepare a suspicious letter like that? With a message bottle, there would be no guarantee that it would ever pass into anyone's hands. If their luck had been bad, it could have sunk in the ocean and never been seen by anyone. And even if someone were to pick it up, they might have thrown it away without even thinking twice about it. That's true. Why did they entrust their confession of the truth to the sea in such an uncertain method? They're having fun. And why did they write up multiple different tales? Not a confession? If there had been one message bottle claiming that its story was the truth, would be reckless, but not impossible. However, because there were two, that made both of them doubtful. If someone was plotting to make out those two mysterious days to be the work of the witch, that was really superfluous. And because there were two, it suggested that an undiscovered third one, or possibly even more, might exist. 500! In other words, the two having differing contents was making it even harder to take either of them at face value. But despite the differences, the contents of the two matched in that both tales told of a witch. Does that mean that this is what the writer wanted to tell us? Yes. I can only imagine that this was a crime committed for pleasure by someone who wanted to create an illusion of a witch. But 17 people, excluding Unever, lost their lives, and a vast inheritance. Accident could be, and maybe even 10 tons of gold changed hands behind the scenes. It just doesn't make sense for the confession coming at the end of all that to be this fantasy about a witch. I don't need to hear the magazines listening to find it extremely doubtful whether the message bottles really are diaries. After all, the amount of writing was massive. Yeah, like 20 hours on episode 1. It's hard to imagine that someone actually caught up in the middle of a serial murder like that would have been able to calmly write it down. Well, 4 out of 4 and alien isolation would probably beg to differ. In that case, it's probably more realistic to say that these diaries were written slowly over a long period of time before the day prior to the accident. In which case, would that mean that everything on Lok Kenjima was premeditated and prepared for over a long stretch of time? The fact that Aunt Eva left this world without saying anything is detestable. She definitely told me on her deathbed. She definitely said that her reason for not telling me the truth was because it was the best way of harassing me. That doesn't make sense. It could be. I mean, because she is the only one who survived, I think people naturally suspect her to be the murderer. Although that's a possibility, right? That one of those two, like Angela's parents, actually commit murder and she successfully self-defend, maybe. So I guess it's boiled down to whether Eva love Angel. I mean, if she loves her, I think she doesn't tell her because her parents is the murderer. If she hates her, then it's probably herself who's the murderer. By now I'm painfully aware of it. Of all the things Aunt Eva did to harass me, this was probably the last and the greatest. But now that I start to think of it this way, it's pretty doubtful that Aunt Eva is the true culprit. Of course, this isn't because of the handwriting in the message bottle differs from Aunt Eva's or anything like that. It's because in both discovered tales, Aunt Eva was included among the victims. What? But in the two messages, well, I don't know which two it is, so I don't know. But probably they killed everyone. If the writer of these diaries was the culprit, then maybe Aunt Eva had also been one of the targets to be killed. Aunt Eva had survived because something had gone wrong. Oh. Because of my hate for Aunt Eva, I had believed until now that she had to be the culprit. But the existence of their message bottles, the fanfiction, was making me suspect that the mastermind was a far more profound and unknown person than her, the CIA. I mean, I don't know. Are we crashing? Oh, I looked at the clock. I asked everything I wanted to. Time to go. Go where? As he continued to speak fervently, I volunteered that I wanted to bring this discussion to a close. He seemed to be aware that he had gotten excited and talked too much, so he accepted this without resistance. Finally, some voice acting.
いえいえ、ウィッチハントの新しい仲間に若いお嬢さんを迎えできて本当に楽しかったです。
Who says we are joining you? No, we won't.
今日は歌詞を変えてしまったのでお見せできなかった貴重な資料がいくつもあります。次の機会の時にはぜひそれをお見せしましょう。
Nah, we shall never meet again. Sayonara.
ありがとう先生。最後に聞いてもいいですか？
はい、何でしょうか。
先生はどうして魔女に、いえ、神秘学や悪魔学に興味を？
I have a dead wife and I want to revive her.
それを言われると恥ずかしい。不思議な力が使えたなら意地悪なガキ大将にも負けないのに。
What? I'm about to suggest something. That might not be PC for the American. Just bring some guns.
という子供の頃の妄想がそのままライフワークになってしまっただけです。
Or, bring some firecracker or something.
未知なる力への憧れ
nice.
とい
That
う
works
プ
too.
リミティブな願望は今も昔も普遍的ですからな。
先生はなれるものなら魔女になりたいですか？
Do I stream almost every day? I stream every day. Not almost. Hear me. There might be some days that I'm too busy or too tired or too sick. Either of those. So I might not. Hear me.
思うがままに魔法を使ってみたいという夢を今も。
もちろんですとも。この年になりそういうものが実在しないと理屈では分かっていても。
Yeah, or dead. That works too. If I'm dead, I will name my successor and stream under this channel. How about that?
それでもなお空を飛んでみたい、鉄靴を黄金に変えてみたいという子供のような夢は忘れられずにいます。学生たちにはどうか内密に。
私が実は魔女だと言ったらお信じになります？
What are these Shunibyo people on about?
女は魔女であるというのが私のささやかな女性経験からの持論です。
True. What? Who is this person? If I would die, can I please write about this in Discord at least? Well, assuming that the phone or the PC is near me, then I'll be sure to what it says. Let you know. Yep. And just nodded at the old professor. So nodded, she says, who was undoubtedly an earnest scholar and unlikely had any experiences with women at all. Oof. Sick burn.
そうそう。最後にもう一つだけ質問を。
I thought that was a final question.
先生はメッセージボトルの実物をご覧になったことは？
Oh.
ありますとも。
では、その筆跡についてもお詳しいですか？
もちろん。その道の専門家ではありませんが、メッセージボトルの筆跡に関してだけは日本で最も詳しいと自負していますとも。
Okay. They didn't say how many pages the messages have, but do you think, let's say if you're gonna write a thesis, would you be able to fake your handwriting for the entire thesis or thick books or something? I wonder. At that point, Angel set a book on the table with a thought.
これは初めて見るものです。
Oh. How many bottles messages did he read in the past? Well, probably the two messages bottle that he says that has been found, I would guess. Unless he is keeping secret. Actually, I have 5 bottles, Lamau, or something. That would be horrible, story-wise. He prided himself on his Doru knowledge of all literature related to Rokkenjima, but he looked bewildered at this binding that he had never laid eyes on before. How would he attest to the authenticity of this diary? Ignoring him, and just suddenly flipped through the pages, opened to one of them, and showed him. On that page was a handwritten paragraph beginning with, "To my dear witch apprentice." And at the end, there was a signature in capitals that said, "Beatorigi."
それは。
The instant he glanced at it, his face went pale. She knew the answer before asking, but Angel asked it aloud anyway. You don't feel well, you go to bed. Okay, Nico, thank you so much for coming, and I hope you feel good soon. Him. Have a good sleep. Why does he say that he's the most professional in leading motorcycles of Japan? Oh, you make a good point. Him. I have no idea.
このページに記されている文章の筆跡はメッセージボトルの筆跡と一致しますか？
Oh. Well, but I thought in the paragraph on this page, must be the one where quote unquote Beatrice or Waruki sign or write about Sakutaro. Damn, he's smart. I mean, she's smart.
いや、持ち帰って詳しく調べない方には。
No.
失礼だが、この本は一体どこに？
The man stretched out his hand, but Angel nimbly pulled it out of his reach. You can just photocopy the paragraph, as though telling him not to touch it with his filthy hands.
ありがとう。
Why is he nervous? Because the book probably is a new data for the Lokinjima incident.
その反応だけで結構です。
Now, I don't know why he thinks the books is real. I mean, NJ could just make something up, right? So I don't know why he would be that nervous. I don't know. Or maybe he's hungry for anything new. That's possible.
今日はありがとうございました。これ、お約束の謝礼です。
As he stood up, clutching Mare's diary, NJ casually tossed a wad of 10,000 yen. Is that like $1,000 Dorulu? Notes wrapped in the band of paper onto the table. As she turned her back to him and made to leave, the man raised his voice as though clinging to her. But Angel never stopped walking.
お願いだ。その本は一体。謝礼はいらない。その本を見せてくれ。
私とあなたはウィッチハントの同志だけど、求める深さが違うみたい。
Oh, and he probably thinks the book is real because NJ is one of the family. So, yeah.
あなたが楽しんでるのは猫箱の外側。そして私が知りたいのは猫箱の内側。そしてこの一冊はその猫箱を開く鍵ね。あなたには過ぎてるわ。じゃあね。Goodbye, gentlemen. Have a nice day.
What do you mean, gentleman? He's a one man. Poor grammar. 0 of 10. My immersion ruined.
待ってくれ。すまねえさん。
So she could make these books and sell them for a high price? You're onto something. Yeah, probably. Oh, she called herself Sumadera. Well, they probably know that NJ is a Ushinomiya. His voice didn't reach her. She had already joined up with Amakusa and gone into the car. Oh, wow, the introduction of this episode is really long.
最後の最後にね。
Beep beep.
やっぱりそうだった。メッセージボトルを記したのはベアトリーチェ本人だった。
You sure?
そいつはクールだ。
Cool.
魔女は実在するで決着で。
さあね。寝ていい？あのおしゃべり教授。きっと講義では自分の世界に入っちゃって寝ちゃう子続出だと思うわ。
True.
どうぞどうぞお休みを。
しかしうまくいくもんね。あいつ私のことスマデラだと最後まで信じてたわ。
Stop right there, you criminal scum. You broke the speed limit, pay the fine, and something. I don't remember. The Sumadera family had cast out a net beforehand over any people NJ might try to contact. They had offered a reward for anyone who could detain Ushinomiya Enje if she appeared. Wait, what? So people who research Rokkenjima incident don't know what the surviving family members looks like? Really? Okay. Enje had foreseen that and snatched it away. She had caught herself Sumadela, and after skillfully tricking the man by saying her own subordinates would set up an ambush, she had taken him with her. So when the Sumadela pursuers reached the professor's house, there was no longer anyone there. Oh, so that's why they met at the restaurant.
家
Okay.
人の話では午前中にスマデラを名乗る若い男女が訪れ
Why is it action music?
教授を連れ出したきりまだ帰宅しないそうです。裏をかかれた可能性が。
いけない子ねエンジェちゃんは。そういう悪知恵姉さんの血なのかしらね。あんなに名乗るのは嫌だと言ってたスマデラの名を気安く名乗ってくれちゃうなんて。
Merry Christmas.
教授もお戻りになるだろうさ。そしたらソチャでも振る舞わないとね。
Uh-oh.
は了解しました。
You can't just torture some citizen. That's illegal.
私を手玉に取ったつもりかしら。
You thought this a vision of it's a shooter now. Bang, bang, bang. I wonder if she thinks she's leading around by the nose.
やんちゃな子なんだから。
Oh, wow. With a demonic look on her face, Kasumi violently stamped her heel. Not only we have witches, we have demons. What the? I'll teach you about my magic of origins. No, I taught you before, right? And you used to be able to use it. No Japanese. Did you forget? You were also a witch apprentice, NJ. You're wizard, Harry. With your name entered into marriage sorcier when you... Remember, no Japanese.
魔女に
I knew what you're on
変えてもら
about.
ったんだっけ。
What is this place? I closed my One-chan's diary and flopped down on a very high-class looking bed. Since I had fallen into a pretty deep sleep in the car, it was taking longer than usual for drowsiness to set in, and I had been spending a long time reading the diary as I waited for that. This was a super expensive hotel in the city. Expensive hotels that are often used by the rich and famous have an abnormally strong duty of confidentiality out of concern for their various circumstances. I wouldn't know. This made it a very convenient place for Angie on the run from her pursuers. The idea that runaways spend their nights hiding in cheap hotels is a commonest way of thinking. For Angie, who possessed all the wealth of the Ushinomiya family, the life of a runaway was truly comfortable. Damn, I'm jealous. Of course, as a man, Amakusa was in a separate room despite being her guard. Angie was using the bedroom of the suite, while Amakusa was lying down on the living room sofa. I assume the sofa is very comfortable as well. Amakusa said something about how the sofa here was more comfortable than his own bed recently. I said at first, poor guy. When I looked at the clock, I saw that it was almost 2 a.m. Still not getting sleepy, I sighed deeply. Even though there's no wind, I suddenly got the feeling that my Oni-chan's diary had fluttered open. It's the air conditioner. Then Oni-chan appeared. Why is it updated now? Who got updated? Well, I will never know. The Oni-chan appeared. Her form was no longer the normal one that I knew. She was wearing the dress that Beatrice had given her after acknowledging her status as a witch.
もう寝ないと明日が辛いよ。
私も魔女なら魔法が使えるのよね。
Ah,
使えるよ。教えてあげたでしょ。使い方。昔は使えたはずだよ。
覚えてる。使いたくなった。
寂しくなった？
別に毎日枕が違うくらいのことで辛くなんてならないわ。
魔法の最初の一歩は寂しいからとか退屈だからとか、そのくらいのささやかな理由でいいの。
眠くなるまでの暇つぶしだとしても。
うん。エンジェがもう一度魔法のことを思い出してくれて。
okay. Can we go back to Lokenjima now or nah? It's been quite a long time since I last used the magic. At one point, with Marione-chan's introduction, I touched a corner of it and opened the door a tiny bit. So, I should still remember that sensation.
今のエンジェはかなり魔法の力が衰えてる。
Oh no, not enough mana.
基本に忠実じゃないと難しいよ。
うん。四方を確認。静かな空間を確保。
Okay.
天草さんは？
寝てるわ。
How do you know? After opening the door to the living room a crack, I could see the blanket caterpillar on the sofa, low over in his sleep. Maybe he's faking his sleep.
今のエンジェの弱い魔力では半魔法力の影響を受けすぎる。人の姿だけじゃない、声も音も気配さえもエンジェの魔法の邪魔をする。
That sounds like a meditation, but
そ
okay.
れらを完璧に立って古代魔術師たちがアトリエを閉ざして孤独を守ったように。
They call me tiny bit. Okay, who?
覚えてるわ。
Uh-oh.
人間の存在自体が魔法を妨げる。故に人に魔法を見せるということそのものがとても高位な魔女の証だったわね。
Obtain a quiet space for yourself alone. That should cover it for the preparation of a space to use magic.
次によりしろ。今のエンジェには自転車の補助輪、いえチェーンくらい大事。
Let the bottle be the vessel. I'll make imaginary friends from the bottle of water.
これは当然無理よね。
Angel loved her own hair. She was wearing hair accessories with pink beads attached. They felt a little childish for Angel's style. I walked into that redeem, didn't I? Cool. Okay, I'll drink some water. Water, I say. Apparently so. But she had never taken them off for a single day.
今のエンジェにはとても無理。あの日から一日も休むことなく修行していたなら、あるいは今頃は呼び出すことができたかもしれないね。
What? Who's him? Why, her brother? Ushinomiya Butler?
今から修行したらどのくらいかかるの？
4 years.
魔女の修行は幼き日の1年が老いの10年と同じ価値があると言われてる。相当の覚悟がいるよ。
それこそ後ろ宮金蔵くらいに。ピアノもバイオリンも魔法も幼い頃からの英才教育が大事なのね。
今のエンジェは初めて魔法を使えた時よりもその力が落ちている。無理をしないで基本に忠実に。
After regretfully rubbing the things on my head one more time, I let it go. Then I started fishing through my knapsack, looking for anything that might make a good vessel.
これならよりしろにはぴったりじゃない？
Enjoyer! Hello! Are you doing well? Unfortunately, no shooty today. We are very wholesome. the naturally theme songs at maximum volume. Don't know what the theme means. Never into that. Yep.
懐かしい。それならば今のエンジェでも召喚できると思うよ。それには今主がいない。
She?
エンジェが新しい主になるのも可能なはず。
Oh, is it a waifu? Among the things that look like good vessels, I took the one I thought might possess the strongest magical power, a rabbit, and set it on the side table near the bed with a clunk. Is it a rabbit? It was a shady looking, oh for God's sake, a shady looking stake-shaped weapon embellished with an occult design. You tend to mystery shot due to pixie. Oh, I see. Understandable. Him. Wait, I thought the YouTube is repeating whatever the Twitch is saying, right? Is it? Okay, it is. Okay. Oh, you probably can't see the chat. Okay, that makes sense. That's just adorable. Him. Thank you. I did that a lot. There, I did it again. A stake of 7 stakes of purgatory used by the witches to offer sacrifices. In the course of their search for evidence, the police have collected a large amount of junk. After the investigation had finished, this had been faithfully returned to the Ushiraya family. I found something there that I had seen in the illustrations in Maria's diary and took it home with me. Depending on the pixel quality, the shot looked like Minecraft blocks. I see.
煉獄の七杭はもともと7本で一揃いだった。気の毒にね。今はもう彼女1本だけ。
What happened? What happened to the other 6? Oni-chan smiled, looking lonely. When is the Minecraft stream? Probably never. I have the game. But playing alone is amazingly boring to me. I pull another book out of the knapsack. If I would stream it, I would probably install some mods to make the world less dead. Like, for now, I think Fallout 4 Scratch, like a creative itches more. There was another old-fashioned, blatantly occult-related book, but this too was a book to be written in. It was one of the Maria One-chan's elaborate notebooks. This one was not a diary. It was a grimoire, which she had written as a witch. The 7 stakes of purgatory were Beatrice's furniture, created by her and employed only for her sake. But since Beatrice was a witch of Maria Sorcière, they could also be employed by Maria, who was a witch of the same alliance. For that reason, the method of summoning the 7 stakes of purgatory and how to handle them was written about in great detail in Maria One-chan's grimoire. And I not scared to play alone because someone is so... What? What do you mean someone is always watching me? No one is watching me, right? In Minecraft. And as another person with her name in the same alliance, I was also permitted to employ them. You're watching me right now. You're watching me right now. Yeah, but it's not Minecraft.
マリアの魔導書に彼女らの特徴がよく記されてるよ。
Although Enderman would probably jump scare me. So probably one of the reason that I don't play the game much.
七杭の姉妹は名前を間違えられることをとても嫌う。 召喚する前によく彼女らの名前を思い出して。
When you will be streaming my car, you watch too. Okay, thank you for the thought. Across a number of pages telling of the 7 stakes of purgatory, they describe the 7 sisters in great detail. Yes, quite a long time ago, I think I learned these pages almost by heart. The more I read it, the more I start to remember. By the illustrations and identifying characteristics written in the grimoire, I could tell that the stake in my hand was the stake of Mammon. In the past, I had been summoning them without any vessel because I never had any stakes. Wait, what? Did she? I don't remember. I guess she did. So this was the first time I had gotten a good look at any of the 7 stakes, not just Mammon.
マモン
Mammon. Is it a cake?
五女
How do you know?
7つの大罪の強欲を司るすごい子よね。
強欲は向上心、上昇志向、生きる強さなども司る。決して悪い意味だけではないんだよ。
Yeah, but that's how shrinkflation happened.
口は悪いけど、とても頑張り屋さんな子だし。
そうね。欲がないってことは、つまり生きてる理由がないってことだし。
For a while, I heightened my concentration and digested the information that was written about Mammon. The more the summoner knows about the target that's being summoned, the better. Okay, then summon your brother. I mean, you know him very well. Knowledge brings about magical power. I began to fill my head with knowledge about Mammon and build the necessary amount of magic power for the summoning.
魔導書ってちょっとだけ面白いわね。下手くそな小説を読むよりよっぽど面白いかもしれない。なんだか懐かしい気持ちになるわ。
魔導書はただ文字を読み取るだけじゃなく、行間から世界を膨らませたり、挿絵から世界を生み出したりと、様々な想像を要求されるの。生み出す力、これを持つエンジェになら、どんな本よりも魔導書は面白いはずだよ。エンジェになら理解できるってマリアはずっと知ってたもの。
マモンの知識、これで十分だと思うわ。
They just summoned her already.
だいたい蘇った。やってみる。
しっかりね。いざという時に備えて私の護符を。
Excuse me, what do you mean for the worst? What talisman?
今の君は同盟の条約に守られてない。
You think she's gonna kill you?
マモンは少し喧嘩早いところがある子。
Oh, 7. She's gonna die. What does that mean? She's gonna shoot herself?
あるいはまだ恨んでるかも。注意して。
身につけることにする。
The 7 stakes of purgatory as furniture, brought to you by IKEA. For sacrificial rituals are treated as beings inferior even to weapons, but that is only when it comes to demons. To humans, even furniture is something to be feared. If only we have a gun. I fished through the knapsack again, took out a bracelet charm with a scorpion middle that I had gotten from my Onejan long ago, and put it on my arm. I had no need for something like this in the past, but I need insurance.
大丈夫。それにはまだ十分な魔法防御が備わってる。それを身につけている限り絶対に大丈夫。
Ah, the foreplay. Good God. My Onejan's magical power in particular, the power she could put into charms was enough to earn even Beatrice's admiration. While it would only have looked like something cheap to a human who couldn't understand magic, its magical worth was incalculable. Probably just $1 on thrift store or something.
さあさあ、おいでなさい。罪を許しなさい。煉獄の七悔が一つ。強欲のマモン。
Oh my god, my eyes! That hurt my eyes. I concentrated my mind. I meet the anti-magic toxin that filled my body zero. Oh my god, it's so white! My eyes! I'm not memeing, by the way, it's actually hurting my eyes. Oh god. Imagine. Finnish translation 10 of 10. Imagine a vast untainted space. Close my eyes. Yeah, I did. Doubts and common sense. All this is magic. Make the resistance zero and erase the burden towards magical power. Inside my head was the image of a vast space. It was a nighttime world where I floated in the air and the neon stars on the ground sparkled. A world where the stars that should have covered the heavens were drowned out by the light from below, and the stars covered the ground instead. In the world of a vast night sky with no obstructions, I imagine the wind blowing through freely. Is this an opening to Batman? My eyes! Just then, in the room where no wind could blow, the free nighttime wind whirled around. That long-forgotten sensation raced through my entire body. The unique feeling of exaltation felt when using magic. From Mammon's stake held out in my hand, I gradually began to feel a pale light. The cyclone, good? Around the stake. The hefty stake floated a bit into the air.
見事だよ。ブランクは君から才能を奪わなかったね。
Okay, the wind sound effect is amazingly loud.
さあさあおいでなさい。罪を許しなさい。煉獄の七悔が一つ、強欲のマモン、その姿を私に見せなさい。
I slowly raised my hand, and as I brought it higher than my head, almost as though it was being sucked upwards by it, the stake of Mammon likewise floated high up into the air and gradually began to shake. Its shaking grew faster and faster, and then... Why does that remind me of Coca-Cola? And then it burst. Uh-oh. And did we die? With a speed faster than the eye could follow, it flew around, violently rebounding off the walls of the room. The terrible sound of its jumping from place to place bore down upon me, trying to make me flinch. But I mustn't lose my mental concentration. Did we die? Okay. We're going full-blown Shunibyo in this section. Then the stake, which had been flying around at an incredible speed, finally restrained itself and faced me. It was in the air, just a few centimeters away from my forehead, held back by the defensive barrier created by the scorpion charm. Are we opening a portal to the wall? Yeah, we wish. It was trying to break the defensive barrier, eating into it with incredible power. My god, it's really loud. But Mario-Oni-chan's barrier wouldn't be broken so easily. The stake muttered hatefully. Safe! You know what? Yeah, just in case it crashed. You could probably say that I had been saved thanks to the scorpion charm. Without that, my way of killing time until I got sleepy would have become a way to kill time for all eternity. Just bring me the waifu already. Waifu! Why is it updated? Is that something more? Oh. I think it's the same thing as I have read. And changed its form from that of a stake into that of a person in her usual shameless outfit, which I would never be seen walking outside in. Although you could say it suited her in a demonic sort of way.
エンジ様なの？ずいぶんとみすぼらしい魔力だけど、本当にエンジ様？
お久しぶりね、マモン。元気にしてた？
てっきりもうお役御免の家具は何度で朽ち果てるだけだと思ってました。
Okay, where is this going?
それでこれはどういう余興で？まさか私の所有者がエンジ様とでもおっしゃるつもりで？
Can we get her full model to inspect her outfit? How do I switch? Oh, there we go. There. No, we don't have her back. We only have her front. So there you go. Screenshot it or whatever and look at it to your heart content. Himi. Normal outfit. Well, is it really normal?
エンジが君の主人だよ。マリア卿。
Which man?
これはお見苦しいところを。
I mean, that's a normal outfit. Yeah. Very modest.
先ほどの結界はマリア卿の。今のエンジじゃひょっとしたら君にやられてしまうかもしれないって思ったから。
Fall to you?
オフを貸したの。
Oh, you mean the attack?
マリア卿に私の主人がエンジ様だと言われたんじゃ断りようもありません。エンジ様、何なりとご命令を。
Excellent. Fetch me some tea.
私が必要とされるということは、新しい儀式を、新しい生贄を、もっとも私を使いこなし、自らの手を汚す程度の覚悟が終わりならの話ですが。
Then what's the point of having a minion?
その役割は私はもう求めてないわ。昔同様にただ話し相手になってくれるだけで十分よ。
It's like summoning a genie just to make friends. Wow.
それがお望みでしたら、家具は使われてこそ家具。お呼び出しいただいただけで光栄ですとも。
He's so cute.
エンジ様。
If only she's not a murderer in the story. Mammon had a slightly complicated smile on her face. She had accepted Angel as her new master because Maria had told her to, but it looked like she hadn't gotten over her discontent at working for Angel with her frail magical power. Or perhaps she has some other reason for hating Angel. Furniture is furniture, yeah! Of course! But for now it seemed that she couldn't disobey Angel despite her discontent.
それで私は何をすれば？
Fetch me some tea.
わからない。適当に賑やかにしてくれればいいわ。
It's like saying to the comedian, "Hey you, do some jokes."
昔みたいに。
お言葉ですが、多分エンジ様がおっしゃる賑やかさとは、私たち姉妹の騒ぎのことだと思います。
She's all pet now. You can't say that. That's not PC.
私一人では難しいかと。
Even imaginary friends have some rights.
お忘れで？そうだね。七姉妹はみんなが揃うと本当に賑やかだったもんね。
Go, dude. Create more imaginary friends.
でも今のエンジの魔力じゃマモンを呼び出すのが精一杯だと思う。
Do I have a collar nearby? Why would I have a collar nearby? I have a PC, I have a keyboard. Why would I have a collar nearby? For what?
他の6人の杭も紛失してる。恐れながらマリア卿、私の杭を経由し、七姉妹に語りかけ、呼び出すことは不可能ではないかと。私を刺激されるのでしたら、その程度の力はエンジ様にはお持ちいただきたいところですな。
Mammon giggled. Apparently she wanted me to summon the other sisters with a vessel. Why do you need a vessel to make imaginary friends? Like, why? I see. Unable to be satisfied with being summoned alone, she asked for the other sisters to be summoned as well. I get it. Great. Yes, she was like this back then, wasn't she? Bliss for furniture is when it is used. Being used, no matter how lovely, is furniture's joy. And this commercial is brought to you by IKEA. Not only that, but no matter how much care you may treat them with, if they are not given a job, that would give them the greatest anguish. Yeah. Mammon spoke as though to provoke me, but what she wanted was for me to summon the other sisters somehow and rescue them from the world of nothingness. Why not just be honest and ask me to then? I need color to make friends and a leash to keep them close. I doubt my friends swing that way. Demons really... Why not just be honest and ask me to then? Demons really are difficult.
エンジ、無理しないで。マモンを呼び出せただけでリハビリには十分だよ。
あら、一人だけでリハビリになっちゃうの？どうせ暇つぶしよ。いいわ、マモン。乗りかかった船だわ。呼べるところまで呼んであげる。
本
Oh, why is that eyes?
当に？さすがエンジ様。さあさあ、早く早く。
Even though she has said it, it seemed that Mammon hadn't really expected to be able to ask this of Enje. She hopped around, badgering Enje to summon the other sisters. The consumption of physical and magical power used to calm Mammon alone was considerable, aka concentration. It will probably be pretty tough to do 6 more. I'm in awe of the magical power of those who reach the level of being called witches, because those people can summon these sisters with no more than a snap of their fingers.
マモン、エンジェに無理をさせないで。エンジェはまだ本調子じゃないから。
Are we collecting a new harem? I want to.
エンジ様はみんなを召喚してくれるって言いました。
Yeah, waifu. Actually, I only said that I would call as many as I could. Guess this is great.
無理しないで、エンジェ。もう今日は休んだ方がいい。君は十分疲れてるよ。
No, I need all the waifus.
いいわよ。どうせ暇つぶし。ばったり寝込めるくらいに疲れさせてもらうわ。
This time, there's no vessel. I'll have to straighten the image solely from the knowledge in the glimmer and manifest them just with that. I held my hands out into the air, replaying in my head the sensation from when I had summoned Mammon. Come on, I know of the 7 sisters personally. Remember, in the past, the times I talked with them. Once again, the power of magic began to fill me up. It radiated as a faint and yet distinct, pale blue light from both of my hands.
エンジ様。
Are we summoning them out of boredom? Probably. She says she couldn't sleep, so probably.
しっかりしっかり頑張って。ねえ、マリア卿。
God, her fang is so cute.
エンジ様は必ずみんなを呼び出してくださいますよね。
No.
また7姉妹は再会できますよね。
Would you be content with 4 sisters for now?
うん、きっとね。でもそれが今夜という保証はないよ。エンジ様ならできますって。エンジ様、お願い。末っ子のアスモから。
アスモデウス7女。わかった。末っ子から順番に呼ぶわ。
Him? They're not gonna stab her, right? A strand of hot sweat dripped down from my forehead. This really does put one hair of a strain on you. My eyes! Ah, my eyes! The pale light in this space began to form into the vague outline of a girl. Make a sister with Enje. That sounds way wrong.
さあさあ、おいでなさい。 煉獄の七杭は一つ、色欲のアスモデウス。
Waifu, waifu. There was no vessel. However, with a strong core conviction that she definitely did exist there, I began to crystallize her form. Her outline became distinct, and the form of her youngest of the seven sisters, Asmodeus, was finally created. Wait, last? Yes, last. For some reason. But apparently she's the most innocent out of all sisters, so don't expect fan service from her. Remind you what game we are playing. Umineko, the murder mystery.
私たちをみんな蘇らせてくれるって。
No, I did not.
エンジェ様、ありがとう。次はベルゼをお願いします。
Oh God.
ベルゼブブ六女、暴食のベルゼブブ。さあさあ、おいでなさい。
If I just keep on like this, I wonder how many I can summon. If I lose my concentration, that'll probably be it. My eyes! The pale light made an outline and formed into Beelzebub. No.
暴食のベルゼブブ、ここに。
Beelzebub. The Japanese pronunciation was a bit funny. Beelzebub. Cool. Wow, waifus! Mammon and Asmodeus jumped on Beelzebub, celebrating the union, summoning 3 people at once. My head was throbbing. Without resting, I summoned the next one.
さあさあ、おいでなさい。煉獄の七杭は一つ、怠惰のベルフェゴール。
Yeah, maybe the mistake is a bit loud.
怠惰のベルフェゴール、ここに。なんと、私がまだ必要とされるとは。
Waifus!
お腹すいた。じゃなくて、また会えて嬉しい。また七姉妹みんなが再会できるなんて。エンジェ様、本当にありがとうございます。
Are we in heaven?
この調子で次はサタンネオ、ベビアネーモ、ルシネーモ。
ええ、
Why don't do 3 at once?
だからお願い、あまりうるさくしないで。4人同時は結構きつい。
エンジもうそれ以上無理をしないで。これだけ久しぶりなのによく4人も召喚できたよ。
No, we need all of them.
今のエンジェ様には我らの召喚は負担を強いている。
How big is this room? Well, she said that it's a luxurious hotel, so probably very big.
エンジェ様、どうかご無理をなされませんよ。
私は嫌。エンジ様は約束したもん。また私たちみんなと遊んでくれるって。
She did not say that. No, I...
エンジ様、みんなとまた会えるって。すぐに会えるって約束した。
そうね、約束したわ。
did she?
すぐにがいつのこととは約束しなかったけど、確かに私は約束したわ。
だから守って。じゃないと私は今日までそれを忘れていたエンジェ様を許さない。
さあさあ、おいでなさい。煉獄の七杭が一つ、憤怒のサタン。
My mind was starting to get hazy, but I'll call. Moshi Moshi, I may have forgotten those days, I may not have thought of them as anything but sadness and loneliness, but certainly the short time I spent with these girls was without fun. あるあ、はいはい。
フンドの沙汰、ここに。
何やってるのよ、あんたたち。
Wow, she mad.
私たちが井戸端会議をするだけでどれだけエンジェ様に負担をかけてるか分かってんの？
Satan, who had apparently figured out the situation immediately after being summoned, yelled out in a loud voice, telling her sisters off. That loud voice made my consciousness fade again.
私たちはベアトリーチェ様より休むことを許された役目を終えた家具なのよ。再びお役に立てる機会を賜るどころか、新しい主人の負担になるなんて、そんなの家具の治れ。
Yeah, tell them.
早く姿を消しなさい。
サタン姉の言う通りだ。姿を消す。お前たちも姿を消せ。それがこの瞬間、一番エンジェ様のお役に立てる。
What is going on?
私は嫌よ。みんなを呼び出してもらえるまでは嫌。私も嫌。お腹すいた。じゃなくて、やっと再会したばかりなのに、もう帰るなんて嫌。
わがまま言ってんじゃないわよ。
Okay, sorry that I adjust this a lot.
ほら、とっとと姿を消す。ほら、アスもさっさと消えなさい。
サタン姉さんがいじめた。いつも末っ子からなんてずるい。
実に賑やかね。退屈し
Uh
ない。
oh. Are you dying?
もう十分だよ。今のエンジェには限界を超えてる。
そうね。
Not enough mana? Throw a visible a bone to feed her. You think she would eat that? I wonder. The situation where I had summoned 5 of them and they were messing around as they pleased was pressing far too heavy a load on me currently with my meager magic power. This is it. As my consciousness grew distant, I collapsed onto the bed. Have bears always felt this soft? It seemed that the sisters were still scrapping together as much as they liked. For a way to kill time until drowsiness comes to get me, this will do. Feeling something warm and nostalgic in the sisters' liveliness, I sank into a world of deep sleep. At the entrance to my dream world, I felt Marionette-chan and Sakutaro waiting to receive me.
お疲れ様。そして頑張ったね。
Summoning demon is better than sleeping pills, right? Who comes ships anyway? Just summon demons. Waifus, demons. Welcome back, huh? Then I should respond like this. Glad to be home. Oh, kept you waiting, huh? Umineko when they cry. When's the mystery? That's right. Just once in the past, I underwent training in order to step in the world of witches. I accepted that the only power which could save me from my sad, painful days at St. Lucia Academy. Wait, is this the end? No! What's the thing called magic? And I received Marionette-chan's introduction to the basics.
広大な空間をイメージ。峠のドライブインから麓を見下ろした時の風景。
Oh.
こう。
I projected the scene from a memory into my mental world. Normal little girls get over the admiration of magical girls during elementary school. Training in absolute earnest to use magic at this age, I have to say, I'm embarrassed of myself. But even that embarrassed emotion felt present to me now. Right now, I was learning mental concentration from Marionette-chan in order to use magic. But it wasn't going very well. It was about as hopeless as going to a person who can wiggle their ears. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Is it working? Asking them how they do it and expecting to learn anything at all from their demonstration. It seems that you need to imagine a vast space to gain the mental concentration for using magic. So I remembered the time from my younger days when my family had gone on a summer vacation and I had looked down towards the base of a mountain from a viewing platform at the rest stop on the peak, and I tried painting this scene in my mental world. What's the point of this?
まだまだ狭い。もっともっと広い空間をイメージして、そしてエンジェだけの心象世界を作り上げるの。
Ah, a mind palace. Okay.
まだまだイメージが霞んでる。空気に温度もないし、風もない。匂いもない。まだまだ世界が希薄。それらは後でもいいから、今はとにかくもっと広い世界をイメージして。
I find that I could imagine something amazingly vividly if I am very sleepy. And I feel very good about that.
どうして広い空間のイメージが必要なの？人間の体内には生まれながらにして魔法を妨げる毒素があるんだよ。その毒素を浄化しないと魔法はうまく使えないの。そのために有効な方法の一つが広大な空間をイメージすることなんだよ。
さっ
Okay.
きは飛行機の窓から見た世界を思い描いたけど、それもダメだったわ。もっと広大な世界なんて見当もつかない。
She needs to play Minecraft.
ならマリアの持つ広大な世界をエンジェにも教えてあげればいいよ。そしたらエンジェにもイメージがしやすくなるんじゃない？
Just play Flight Simulator.
ウリュ
New.
そうね。私もお姉ちゃんはどんな世界をイメージして魔法を使ってるのか興味があるわ。私もそれを参考にする。
ダメだよ。
Oh my god, this is so long.
心象世界は広大で、自分以外に一切遮るものがない世界。だからその世界を人に教えたら、その世界は孤独ではなくなってしまう。
Okay, you will go to sleep. Goodbye. Okay, Ikeos, thank you so much for coming. I hope you have a good sleep. Don't imagine demon waifus.
だから心象世界は誰にも明かしちゃダメなの。
Why not?
だからエンジェも上手に心象世界を描けたら、それは自分だけの秘密の世界にするんだよ。
But I want to share my mind palace.
ウリュウ、マリアケチンボ。
ありがとう、サク太郎。修行に近道なしってわけだわ。努力してみる。大丈夫。ヒントは十分もらえてるわ。
ウリュウ、エンジェ、頑張れ。
I had come to think that there was no way I could be saved by something like magic. After all, magic doesn't exist in this world. That kind of thing should be nothing more than a fantasy, a delusion, a daydream. However, Mario Onechan had shown that she could fill her own world with happiness using a power that was impossible for me. I had been looking down on that happiness as an empty happiness. Well, it's a cope. So I had been denying it all, thinking that because I didn't accept magic, I couldn't accept the happiness that came from it either. I'm twisting! Help! But Mario Onechan's world grew happier and happier. In the past, I had this parachute, calling it painful to look at. I mean, it is. But that might have been nothing but than jealousy. It was time for me to admit that. And doing so was my first step in my search for happiness. A vast space. A dry wind that can blow unobstructed by everything. Let me feel the wind blowing through my hair. Okay. Oh yes. Even the ground might block me as I am now. That I don't need it. Push the ground away. Downwards. Downwards. Oh. I'm so confused. What's the point of this? In other words, it was as though I had floated up, leaving the ground far behind. After pushing it further and further downwards, the ground grew foggy and faint, and for the first time, I began to feel the sky. She no-creeped into the sky in the game. Wow! It's like a flight simulator. Then I understood its vastness. In that instant, I felt the vivid wind pass straight through my body. In other words, broke through without any resistance. Wonder what the picture would be in the original novel.
そう、その感覚を維持して。
わかる。すべての妨げから解放されてるのがわかる。
やったエンジェ、やったエンジェ。
Yeah, I did it. Thank you.
魔女の世界への最初の第一歩を踏み出した。
これが魔女の世界。
じゃあエンジェがずっと望んできた魔法を練習してみよう。お友達を呼び出す魔法。
Okay,
エンジェを
good.
寂しさから救い出してくれる味方を作り、それによって幸せになる魔法を。エンジェにも僕みたいなお友達が呼び出せるの？
I want rabbit waifu.
ウリュウリュ今のエンジェにはゼロの海からサクタロほどの友達を呼び出すにはまだまだ早いね。最初は呼び出しやすい友達から練習しよう。
最初は何を？
エンジェはマリアージュ・ソルシエールの魔女だから、同盟の魔女が刺激する存在はエンジェもまた刺激することが許されてる。
How convenient.
例えばサクタロは私の友達だけど、同じ同盟のエンジェにとっても友達で、そして召喚することができる。今度試しにサクタロを呼び出してみて。寂しくて辛い時、サクタロがきっと元気づけてくれるよ。
Alright, you could call Sakutaro a being employed by Onechan, and so as a witch in the same alliance as Onechan, it's also possible for me to summon Sakutaro. I miss Sakutaro's gaze. What a joy it would be to have him just be sitting there by my pillow. Oh, so he could talk to me a bit on lonely nights.
私が呼びかけたらあなたは現れて話し相手になってくれる？
ウリュウ、エンジェが呼び出してくれるのを楽しみにしてる。
Should have just add random person on MSN.
ウリュウリュウリュ。
Uryuu! Looking happy, Sakutaro playfully pressed and rubbed his head against me like a cat. Suddenly, getting this cute younger brother left me feeling a bit confused, a bit embarrassed, and a bit happy. Unable to understand why I hadn't been able to honestly accept this feeling, I felt tears well up in my eyes.
お姉ちゃん、私頑張るわ。
じゃあ練習をしてみよう。同じ同盟の魔女ベアトリーチェの家具を呼び出してみよう。
ベア
Run
ト
away?
リーチェの家具。
Someone run away. Hearing Beatrice's name mentioned gave me a slightly strange feeling when it came to the crime. On Okinjima, the public had made a lot of noise about it being a witch's sacrificial ritual or something like that. And that witch was Beatrice. So if the culprit of that crime was a witch, it would mean that this very woman was the culprit who took away my family. However, according to Marionechan, Beatrice was a good witch. If I held negative emotions towards Beatrice, she would get mad, argue with me, and call me mean, and refuse to talk to me for a while. But she killed people. Onechan was my only close friend right now, so to avoid worsening the mood of my close friend, I had decided to think of Beatrice as nothing more than Onechan's magic master. And anyway, my belief is that the crime was a murder plot hatched by Aunt Eva. Someday, I'm definitely gonna bring that all to light.
エンジェ、また体内に妨げが混じってるよ。
Wow, you're cool. How do you know?
ごめんなさい。集中を書いたわ。もう一度。
Onechan is really something. She instantly noticed that I was being overcome with idle thoughts. I mean, It's your imagination, so after shaking my head just once, I reimagine the wind blowing through the west sky. My eyes!
煉獄の七姉妹。なんだか物騒な名前ね。
でもとっても賑やかで楽しい子たちだよ。
Yeah, for sure. Like that one time, they gouged Pastorale. Yeah, they're fun.
エンジェの新しいお友達になってくれるかもしれない。まずは私が呼び出してみせるね。見てて。
My One-chan lifted both hands up to the level of her head and quietly unified her mind. The state they could not attain without meditating for a long period of time, she reached in the span of a few quick breaths. She's not real. Then a pale blue light began to gather in her palms, and one by one, the girls began to show themselves. Power Rangers, assemble. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The way they were summoned one after another in a line was overwhelmingly impressive, incredible. The 7 sisters of Purgatory, just like the illustrations in One-chan's Streamer. The younger sisters were behind the eldest, Lucifer, who saluted One-chan.
煉獄の七姉妹、ここにマリア卿、ご無沙汰を申し上げております。
久しぶりだね。みんなも元気？
我ら家具は刺激されてこそ家具。久しぶりのお呼び出しを心より光栄に思います。
サク太郎！お久しぶり！相変わらず美味しいじゃなかった。かわいい。
You can't eat a lion.
私が一番。今日もふかふかプニプニしててかわいい。
I know, right?
私にも抱かせて、私にも抱かせて。
So he's the harem protagonist? It should have been me, not them.
うりゅう、苦しい。僕は見れないから話してみんな。
こら、あんたたち！マリア卿の家具を壊す気？とにかく離れなさいよ。抱きしめるの禁止。
そう言ってるサタン姉が一番抱きしめたがってるよ。
私は別にあんなふかふかのプニプニのワフワフなんて興味ないんだから。
Such a tsundere.
こら、マリア卿とエンジェ様の御前よ。静かになさい、この愚昧ども。
They were so energetic. The sudden burst of activity as soon they appeared left me stunned. And even greater than that was my surprise that the innocent Sakataro was on such good terms with the 7 sisters.
意外。サク太郎があんな物騒な連中にこんなに可愛がられてるなんて。
同じ同盟の仲間たちだもん。怖くなんかないよ。
でも万が一彼女らの機嫌を損ねちゃったら、サク太郎あっという間にやられちゃいそう。
That's a scary thought.
大丈夫。
Don't imagine your imaginary friend killing each other.
同盟の魔女とその家具はみんな仲良しなの。だからサク太郎も安心して遊べるの。それはもちろん私やエンジェも同じだよ。
What are the treaties of Maria Sorcier? Mutual non-aggression and non-interference. What is this? Heart of Iron 4? Member witches must respect each other's magic and creations. Even the sisters, who were normally extremely combative and dangerous, interacted with fellow alliance members as friends. So to the 7 sisters, Sakataro was a common friend. Yeah. He was loved by all of the 7 sisters, and they were even trying to steal him away from each other. He's a stuffed animal. The scene as they all surrounded him and left him was actually a bit charming. I hope they animated this scene in the anime.
なるほど。マリアージュ・ソルシエールの仲間同士なのね。
At a glance, you'd think that Sakutaro's easygoing atmosphere and the Seven Sisters' unsettling one would be like water and oil. They look like they would never be compatible. And yet, they were interacting in such a friendly way, as if it was completely natural. If other peoples of the world could be joined in this wonderful alliance, I wonder if the whole world could immediately become friends.
七姉妹のみんな聞いて。今エンジェは魔法の修行中なの。だからみんなの力を貸してほしいの。
Give me the power of friendship.
かしこまりました、マリア卿。しかし具体的には何を？
君たちを権限させる魔力を私からエンジェに移す。その状態でいつも彼女の身近にいてあげてほしいの。彼女の話し相手になったりしてあげるだけでいい。
Easy
恐
peasy.
れながらエンジェ様の魔力では私たち七姉妹すべてを四六時中呼び出し続けるのは容易なことではないかと。
The older sister, Lucifer, gauged my reaction as she advised this, speaking reservedly. In short, she was saying that the burden might be too heavy for me. At this point in time,
そういう修行なの。エンジェはみんなが想像しているより才能と魔力があるよ。
how do you know?
ちょっぴり辛いかなとは思うけど、今のエンジェなら挑戦する価値はあると思う。
I think more talent and magical power is a euphemism for misery. I think.
エンジェ、今から彼女たちを権限させる魔力を君に切り替える。つまり、エンジェが呼び出したのと同じ状態になるの。
You can do that? Wow, it's like a MMORPG. Wow. So that my Onechan was trying to say was something like this. To keep the Seven Sisters manifested your burden continuously with a significant amount of magical power. Maybe you could say it was like training while wearing weighted wristbands.
ウリュウ、
Uryuu.
七姉妹全員はかなり大変。エンジェ、いきなりは厳しくない？
ありがとう、サク太郎。でも魔女になるための修行だしね。やれるところまでやってみるわ。
The seven of them certainly do seem boisterous, but even if they're doing it for the sake of my training, having them be with me will surely distract me from my loneliness, at least a little. I understood it would be an ordeal, but before anything else, I wanted to give it a shot.
もしも辛かったら無理をしないでね。みんなもエンジェが辛そうだったら加減してあげて。
かしこまりました。わかったね、あんたたち。
That should have been louder.
それではエンジェ様、これより我ら煉獄の七姉妹はエンジェ様の家具となります。マリア卿、お願いいたします。
Engage. Mana Link. Wrong game.
じゃあエンジェ、始めてもいい？
いいわ。ちょっと緊張する。
Me too.
いきなりは辛いかも。頭痛になりそうだったらすぐに魔力を減らしてね。じゃあ魔力ソースをエンジェに移すよ。
Oh, my head. I can't. Instantly, the inside of my head felt very heavy. This is... Yes, it's love. Until then... Wait, love? Tough. Sorry. Until then, the inside of my head had been used only for myself. It was almost like it was now also being used for 7 other people. The mere presence there, blinking, or even letting out a single breath, was pressing an enormous weight on the inside of my head.
マリア卿、恐れながらやはり一度に七姉妹全員の負荷は重すぎるかと。
大丈夫？
やっぱりダメかな。権限に全勢力を使っちゃってる。日常生活と両立できないほどの負荷じゃ意味がない。何しろ魔女としてこれじゃちょっと優雅じゃないね。
What do you mean?
ウリュウ、だからいき きなりこんなに大勢は無理だって言った。
I could probably do like 3 people, like keeping them, I mean, in my mind or something. Probably.
みんな少し姿を消してあげて。
そうね、人数を減らした方が良さそう。アスモ、姿を消しなさい。
Yeah, erase yourself. Sayonara.
また私？末っ子いじめ反対。たまには上から消えてよ。
それじゃあ私が2番目に消えなきゃならないじゃない。
Oh, they're so cute.
やだやだやだ。アスマもレビアネーも騒がないの。そういう騒ぎが余計エンジェ様の負担になるのよ。
Stop shouting!
あんたが騒ぐのも負担になるのよ、バカサタン。
Don't die. The seven sisters started arguing over who should vanish first. All the energy of that fight became a burden, imposing an even greater headache upon Enje. I can't go on. What? In the end, they decided to the order with rock, paper, scissors, and they began to disappear. One of them, 2, 3. Let me guess, Mammon is the last one standing. But even at that level, Enje was still far from comfortable. In the end, I was finally able to calm my breathing once six of them had erased themselves. Blue Lightning! Hello! Are you doing well? Ooh. Have you played this? Have you played it? My tongue is twisting. Have you played this game? With my magical power, forget the seven sisters. Just one of them is my limit. And the winner is...
ああ、
Oh.
これじゃあ7姉妹じゃなくて私一人じゃないですか。
One sister.
エンジェ様、ちょっと頼りないです。
Mamong, who had won her way through the rock, paper, scissors and received permission to remain until the end, complained.
ウリュウ、マモン、そんなこと言っちゃダメ。エンジェはまだまだ修行中。大丈夫エンジェ？頭痛、大丈夫？
Sakutaro stretched on his tiptoes and did little hops, trying to pat Angel's head. Aww. I hope they animate that in the anime. And not even haven't heard about it. Oh, okay, so you're just saying that based on the title. Okay.
ちょっと荒行すぎたかな。マリア、これくらいなら全然平気だけど。
Okay.
友達いっぱいいればいるほど楽しいし。
Imaginary friends.
お姉ちゃんの凄さを改めて思い知るわ。
This is a murder mystery, by the way. According to my Onechan, when you reach her class, you can even summon enough people at once to make up an orchestra. A fake one. And yet she calls herself a witch apprentice. That's all inspiring.
大丈夫ですか？エンジェ様。
ごめんなさいね。私にはあなた一人を呼び出すのがやっとみたい。
まあ、私はこれでもいいかな。だって7姉妹で私だけがエンジェ様の家具を独り占めだし。いかがですか、エンジェ様？
Why does she make that face?
私一人なら不可にはなりませんか？
ええ、あなた一人ならなんとかね。
Who's murdered a waifu or a man? Oh, a lot of people. Not just one person.
よかったならいっぱい修行していっぱい魔力を養ってください。そしていつかきっと7姉妹で揃ってお使いさせてください。
This is episode 4, by the way, so we are a long way. There are 8 episodes total.
約束ですよ。
And there are bonus episodes as well. This game is long. Her smiley talk face is scary. I know, right? After checking that there was at least nothing wrong with her own manifestation, Mammon immediately returned to a good mood and tried to make me promise to work even harder. Yes, I can see the greed in her, but maybe you could also call it positivity.
約束するわ。そのくらいはいつかできなくちゃね。
ありがとうエンジェ様。この強欲のマモン、その日まで必ずエンジェ様にお仕えします。
My headache finally abated and I relaxed both hands, which had been clutching at my head. Then Mammon stuck out her hand, then helped me to stand back up.
ウリュウ、
Uryuu,
マリア、エンジェ、もうこんな時間だよ。
what?
もう
What
部屋に
time?
戻らないと叱られる。
Oh. Where are we? Toilet? I hadn't expected Sakutaro to talk about the time. I was brought back into reality. As though the light had disappeared from it, the vast world sank into the dankness. And I was in the tiny bathroom stall, sitting on the toilet. One-chan's grimoire was open on my lap. I looked at the clock. It was almost 8 p.m. Time for lights out. 8 p.m.? And you're in the toilet? If I show up late for the local before lights out, not only do they make an annoying fuss about it, but it causes trouble for my roommates and floor mates as well. What? Is she in the military school? Why is it so strict? I couldn't care less about causing them trouble, but I would rather not have to deal with the annoying interference that would come as a result. That's the end of my me time for today. Can't you just do that on the bed? Like when you're sleeping or something. I'll go to bed, wake up, tomorrow will begin, and another long grey-colored day will repeat again. I closed the grimoire and rose from the toilet seat. One-chan appeared again and spoke. In the toilet.
ほらエンジェ、修行を忘れてるよ。マモンを連れて行って。
I'd forgotten. The moment I returned to reality, I stopped manifesting Mammon. NJ Pastorale, I don't know where that's from. The man who brought a trophy to your club after 17 years and a major trophy since 1960. I have never heard of that before in my life. I'm sorry. One more time, I created a strong image of the existence of Mammon in my mind.
もうエンジェ様ったらひどいです。いきなり私を消すなんて。
He's a football manager. Oh. NJ is a man. I see.
そんなんじゃ7姉妹を全員呼ぶなんてなかなかできませんよ。
ごめんなさい、うっかりしてたわ。
人間界に権限するのはすごい久しぶりなので、何から何まで興味深いです。ちょっぴりワクワクしてます。ここはどこですか？
A
セン
toilet.
トルチーア学園の寮。ここはその共用トイレの個室。各部屋にトイレはあるから、ここには誰も来ない。静かで本を読むにはちょうどいいの。
ここの寮は本を読むにもトイレの個室に隠れなきゃならないの？文書でもやってるんですか？
Dots. I have a double room, so my roommate is always there. I thought you were amazingly rich. Can't you get a single room? Our relationship is strained, and it feels like I'm always being ignored. The atmosphere is bad, so it's really not a place I can relax. What happened? And it's good for her as well. As long as I'm not there, she can go all out, call her friends, and have a chatting party. But what if they need to use a toilet? It's more convenient for her too if I don't return until just before lights out. There's also the library, but the group that uses that as a meeting place is constantly whispering about me. You go to the library just to talk badly about other people? So weird. He brought European trophy to your team. You have been hearing banters about your team not winning trophies since childhood. Just for 3 to 4 days back, you won trophy which elite managers failed to do in the past. Mad respect. Oh, that's cool. I don't know much about footballs, but that's probably the huge accomplishment. So I don't like to go to the library either. During lunch, it's the bushes behind the school building. During the night, it's the store in the communal bathroom in the dorms. Those are the only hideaways where I can be given peace. I opened the door to the store and went out. I turned around, signaling with my eyes for a moment to come with me.
よくわからないけれど、園児様にとってとても快適とは言い難い場所だってことが分かったわ。
Well, no kidding.
早く表に出ましょう。ここの空気、嫌い。
I can't imagine how stressed you would be if things got really bad that you actually have to do things in the bathroom or toilet.
そう。ここの空気が一番まともなんだけどね。
In the toilet? When I left the bathroom and exited into the corridor, because it was near lights out, all the girls who had gone to play in other rooms were dashing back to their own. Why do they need to order curfew? I guess when it came time for lights out, we had to change into uniform pajamas that we hated and called prison clothes. What? Line up in the hallway and go through the dorm leader's local. If by some chance someone were to be late for this, we would be made to take collective responsibility, and all of us Frommies would have to undergo a punishment that went by the name of volunteer work. I kinda... No, not really. I really hate collective punishment. Like, why? I did nothing. What is the matter with you, you sadist people? As long as I took care to avoid this, the girls would disregard me coldly, but they wouldn't get in my way. That alone was enough for me. Mammon looked at the passing girls and the furnishings of the dorm with interest. Without paying her any particular attention, I hurried back to my room. In front of my room was my roommate, who had already changed into her prison clothes, chatting with some girls from the room next door. When they noticed me hurrying back, they blatantly changed the topic of their conversation. They lowered their voices, staring glances at me. I acted like I didn't notice, went into my room, changed, and hurriedly went out into the corridor. Everyone was already everyone was already lined up.
何これ、おかしい。
It is!
ここってお嬢様学校じゃないの？
I know, right?
刑務所みたい。バカみたい。
やっぱりそうよね。私もそう思ってるわ。刑務所よりさらに厳しい点は、素行が良くても刑期が短くならない点かしら。
Why are you here? Why did Eva send you here? After complaining for a bit, I noticed having someone to listen to your complaints feels surprisingly good. Fortunately, Mammon's form can only be seen by the summoner, me. And of course, there's no need to speak out loud for this conversation. All I have to do is speak inside my mind so no one can listen in. Or are they? Ha 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 ha. Magic, by the way. Magic and the friends created by it might actually not be so bad.
こいつら、揃いも揃ってもやしみたい。生きてないって感じ。
What?
やめなさいよ。毎日姿を見られたら大変よ。
夢も希望もかけらほどもない人間なんて半魔法の塊だもの。私の姿なんて絶対に見えるわけがない。見ることもできない下等生物どもが。
Okay, that's some power fantasy right there.
あなたはその半魔法の毒素を持つ人間たちがこれほどいる中でも平気なの？
園児様が私を権限させてくださる限りは平気です。ただ私を権限するために常に集中しなければならないでしょうから。ほら同室の子に呼ばれてません？
Uh-oh.
後宮さん、聞こえてる？
I'm sorry, I was...
来週からの終盤なんだけどさ、ちょっと相談があって。
Duty? What duty? Probably about pushing a few more shows onto me. My roommate, who normally would never even look me in the eye, was smiling at me unpleasantly. But I have a much easier time having the weekly duty pushed onto me and doing it alone, rather than being forced to do it with her. Okay, if it's that bad, just rotate shows weekly. I mean, this week you do it, other weeks I do it, or something. But nah, there's a small price to pay to have her continue to ignore me. Yet after the shameless excuses, she transitioned into pushing a completely different point, insisting on flipping the issue on its head, as if I should have come forward and done it of my own initiative. Why would anyone... I'm sure that happened in real life. One of the special traits of this academy is that it's full of girls who don't know how to ask a favor because they are rich.
何この子
Apparently.
ムカつく眉間に思いっきり私の杭をねじ込んでやりたい
そうね、ぜひ今度お願いするわ。
You're gonna shoot her? Okay. Yeah, having a friend nearby all the time to complain to makes me happier than I thought it would. The Seven Sisters really were lively when they were all gathered together. I'm sure that just watching them mess around will be a lot of fun. I've decided I'll do all I can to quickly gain the magical power to summon all of the Seven Sisters at once. And then I'll keep training more and more and more and summon the thing that I really want to summon.
エンジ様が本当に召喚したいものって何ですか
My brother. Mama noticed my conversation with myself inside my head and asked about it blankly. I hesitated over whether to talk about it, but then thought that it wasn't anything to hide and told her.
家族よ。お父さん、お母さん、お兄ちゃん。
それってつまり死者の魂異界の住人を呼び出すのは召喚だけど死者の魂を呼び戻すのは反言でそれは全くの別物反言はかなりの大魔法のはずですよ
I know. So much so that even Mario Oni-chan can't do it at all. But that's the thing I most want to call. With magic. I've been warned that it's a very difficult high-level magic, so great that in the worst case, I might not necessarily reach that point even after training for my whole life. Okay. I think there's two ways this gonna go, assuming that she succeeded. She either found out that her parents is actually alive and hiding somewhere, or she went through insanity and hallucinate her own family. Furthermore, I have no vessel. A vessel is something vital for making magic succeed, whether it be summoning or resurrection. Because I don't have one, what would already have been difficult magic instead become hopeless. That's right. I have nothing to remember mom or dad by. What? What about their house? However, by an extraordinary coincidence, I do have something to help me remember Oni-chan, and that's this.
そのピンクの玉の頭飾り何それ言っちゃ悪いけどエンジェ様にはちょっと安物っぽい
You did not just say that.
昔、お父さんに内緒で、お母さんと一緒にお兄ちゃんに会って、遊園地に遊びに行ったことがあるの。そこのクレーンゲームの景品。
That's cool. I know it's something cheap. I realize that it doesn't match my style, and I get that it's too childish. But this hair accessory is the only thing that makes me feel as though Batola Oni-chan is by my side. My eyes. The goggles do nothing. My eyes! The inside of the glass case had been filled with plastic capsules, packed with fun-looking things. It seemed that each of those capsules had some kind of cute little object inside. The game was to grab those with the crane, but I was young and it was too hard for me. Those cranes are a fraud. They don't work, never have been. The claws are too weak. No matter how many times I tried, I didn't even get close. Mom told me that whatever was inside was probably sheep anyway, and we didn't even know what it was. Like, I'm pretty sure that it's probably cheaper to find a similar dose as those in the machine and just buy it. Like, don't play the thing. So there was no point in getting all upset over it. But whether it was something cheap or not wasn't the issue. The process of grabbing happiness with my own hands felt very important and sacred to me. So I wanted that capsule with its unknown cheap little object more than anything. Oh, so cute. Damn, Butterfly is so cool. He's so handsome. The Butterfly Oni-chan came over after finishing with a game where you shoot soldiers with a gun and had to go in my place. The happiness that was beyond my reach. Oni-chan stretched out with his longer arms and he grabs it for me. Oni-chan really was coordinated. Apparently, he often played at the arcade with his friends. After only 1 or 2 attempts with the crane, he grasped the thing on the other side of the grass that I hadn't even been able to touch. Pew, 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 pew. And dumped it into the exit chute. When Oni-chan tossed me that capsule, I remember feeling that I could count on him for anything. For the next several days, I felt like the capsule was too precious to open up. Then one day, I finally opened it. And when I did, what revealed itself from inside was this pink bead hair accessory. Since that day, this has been a symbol of Oni-chan. My young mind thought that getting that 4-person family together with Butterfly Oni-chan included was a precondition for a happy family. So I wanted Oni-chan and Dad to make up quickly. In my own way, I had made this hair accessory a charm to bring my whole family together. That's why I always used to wear it. Because I wanted to feel my reliable, funny, and wonderful Oni-chan by my side all the time and give him a place in our house.
でも、お兄ちゃんの記憶はあまりに遠い。マリアお姉ちゃんがライオンのぬいぐるみからサクタラを生み出したようには簡単にできない。
Just make a new one. Make your own Oni-chan. Doesn't have to be the same person.
私は死者の魂を蘇らせる大魔法をいつか必ず身につける。そしてそれを成功させられる唯一の鍵が、よりしろがこれなの。
なるほど。
ふむ。
その頭飾りにものすごい魔力を感じてたけど、そういうわけなのね。
魔力？お兄ちゃんのこれに魔力が宿ってるの？
But I thought Oni-chan's has an anti-magic barrier over 9,000.
エンジ様が宿らせているというべきかもね。
Of course!
エンジ様の兄を呼び出したいという強い思いは、確かに反言は大魔法だけど、エンジ様はその魔法のために無意識のうちに着実に階段を登っているのは間違いない。
Okay, but seriously, how does Angel don't have anything that not that resemble, but that can act as a vessel for her father and mother? Like, their house is intact. That's probably like a picture or like a necktie or something.
嬉しいわ。私以外の人にそれを認めてもらえるのは。
Your own effort isn't something that you can observe by yourself. In that sense, even though these words came from a dangerous demon girl who governs one of the 7 deadly sins, they made me very happy.
反言の魔法に至るのと寿命を全うするのとどっちが早いかだけは私には保証できないけれども。
Yeah, let's be as insane as Kinsa.
でも 挑む山の高さが高ければ高いほど魔女エンジェ様はくじけることがなかったなら、きっといつか私たちの元の主ベアトリーチェ様に匹敵するほどの大魔女になれると思います。
I wonder if the person who masqueraded as Beatrice is actually dead. Is it a murder suicide?
なれるかしら。大魔女になってお兄ちゃんを、家族を蘇らせることができるかしら。
反言の魔女エンジェ教、素敵。反言の魔女はかなりレアな魔女です。そんな魔女がご主人様なんてちょっと鼻が高いです。
He's so cute.
っていうかむしろそうなってほしいものです。
The backgrounds, the pose, the position of the characters reminds me of the dating sims.
家具の価値も主の格に比例しますので、もうベアトリーチェ様さえ抜いちゃって天下無双の大魔女になってくださいね。
Watch me.
天国の七姉妹を代表して心より応援申し上げます。
I thought that if a magical friend were to appear for me too, I would like a cute kid like Sakataro. But even this fifth sister of the frightening seven sisters who govern the seven deadly sins was enough to calm my heart. This much all by herself. My dear One-chan probably knew this long ago. That's why she recommended the word of witches to me over and over and over again. I kept on stubbornly rejecting it. I should have given in and started my training as a witch sooner. A year as a child compares with 10 in old age, was it? At this point, I find my past self deplorable for wasting precious time doing nothing but complaining. Long after I turned off the lights and slipped into bed, Maman continued to talk to me beside my pillow. I promise. The dome is a tower? One day for sure I'll develop a magical power that can summon the seven sisters, and I'll let them have a lively and fun time. The seven of them make a single whole. None can be left out. No one left behind. Sample file. Ooh la. Sorry, no. Family must be together. I must bring them together. Okay. Whoa, what is this? My awareness began to return slowly. Okay, you know what? It's a bit late. I enjoy the story, but I wish that they could get on with the murder mystery already. But I hope that it's actually important. I hope. Well, we will never know. But anyway, I had fun, and I hope you had fun as well. So thank you very much for watching, and we will see you the next time. Please take care of yourselves, and goodbye. う。